The war machine did not move. It stood in the center of the prison cell, tall and silent. Its metal body was burned and cracked from many battles. Deep scratches covered its armor. One of its arms was damaged. Its red eye flickered like a dying star. Outside the energy bars, alien guards laughed. "So this is Earth's great weapon," one of them said. "This broken thing almost scared our empire." They mocked it without fear. To them, it was nothing but scrap metal. A failed experiment. A defective war machine built by desperate humans. The prison where they kept it was not normal. It floated in deep space, far from any planet. This prison held monsters. War criminals. Creatures too dangerous to live free. And now, Earth's strongest weapon stood among them. The robot did not react to the insults. It did not speak. It did not even look at the guards. It only stood there like it had already accepted defeat. Many in the galaxy believed this machine was the reason Earth lost the last great battle. When the alien empire attacked, humans sent this prototype to the front lines. At first, it destroyed entire enemy fleets. It moved faster than any ship. It fought without fear. But then something went wrong. In the final battle, it stopped responding. It froze in space. The alien fleet surrounded it, captured it, and showed it to the galaxy as proof that Earth was weak. A failed creation from a weak species. Now it stood in a dark prison cell. Forgotten. Broken. Or so they thought. Hours passed in silence. Then heavy footsteps echoed in the hallway. The cell door opened again with a loud metal sound. 2 guards pushed someone inside. A human girl fell to the cold floor. She was thin and tired. Her clothes were torn. But her eyes were sharp and alive. The guards laughed again. "Now the broken machine has company," one said. "Let us see if it protects her," the other joked. The door slammed shut. The lights above dimmed. The girl slowly stood up. For a moment, she looked small next to the tall machine. She looked at it carefully. At the cracks. At the damaged arm. At the silent red eye. Most prisoners would be afraid. But she was not. She stepped closer. Very slowly. The robot did not move. The red eye flickered once. Then went dark. Silence filled the cell. The girl stopped only a few steps away. She studied its face like someone looking at an old friend. Then she whispered softly, "I finally found you." Nothing happened. The machine stayed still. Cold. Dead. The girl reached into her pocket. The guards had not checked her carefully. She pulled out a small metal device, no bigger than her finger. She held it tight. Her heart was beating fast. Outside the cell, cameras watched everything. The guards were bored. They did not expect anything to happen. Inside the cell, the girl took one more step forward. She placed her hand gently on the machine's chest. The metal was cold. For a second, she closed her eyes. Then she pressed the small device against a hidden panel in its armor. There was a soft click. So quiet that no one outside heard it. Nothing changed at first. The robot remained silent. The girl opened her eyes slowly. "Wake up," she whispered. A second passed. Then another. Suddenly, deep inside the machine, something moved. A low sound, like a distant engine starting. The red eye flickered again. But this time, it did not fade. It changed. From red to blue. Very slowly, the robot turned its head. Its glowing blue eye locked onto the girl. For the first time since its capture, the war machine moved. And in that silent prison cell, something powerful had just awakened. The guards outside were still laughing. They did not know. The galaxy believed Earth had lost its strongest weapon. They believed it was defective. They believed it was broken. They were wrong. The blue light in the robot's eye became steady and bright. The girl did not step back. She looked up at the tall machine without fear. For a long moment, they simply stared at each other. Then a deep mechanical voice spoke. Identity confirmed. Dr. Maya Raman. The girl gave a small smile. "Yes," she said softly. "It's me." Outside the cell, the guards stopped laughing. They looked at the screen in shock. "The machine is active," one shouted. "That is not possible," another said. "They said it was destroyed." Inside the cell, the robot slowly moved its damaged arm. Metal plates shifted into place. Small lights turned on across its body. It was still wounded. But it was no longer silent. "You should not be here," the robot said. Maya looked at the energy bars of the prison. "I came because you are here," she replied. The robot's head tilted slightly. "Mission status, incomplete," it said. Maya nodded. "I know." The truth was simple. The robot was never defective. It did not freeze in the final battle because of damage. It shut itself down. On purpose. It allowed the alien fleet to capture it. It allowed the galaxy to laugh. Because this prison was not random. This prison held the most dangerous warlords in the Empire. The strongest fighters. The cruelest commanders. All locked in one place. Earth needed them gathered together. And now they were. The robot spoke again. Hidden protocol ready. Awaiting human authorization. Maya took a deep breath. Her hand was shaking slightly. The small device she carried was not just a key. It was her DNA code. Only a human creator could unlock the machine's full power. Before she could answer, the prison lights suddenly turned red. A loud alarm filled the hallway. Warning sirens echoed everywhere. "Inmate breach in Sector 7, a voice announced. The ground shook. From a nearby cell, something heavy slammed against metal walls. Other prisoners began to shout and roar. One of the cells exploded open. A massive alien creature stepped into the corridor. It was twice the size of a human, covered in thick armor-like skin. Its eyes glowed yellow with rage. The guards fired energy weapons at it. But the blasts did little damage. The creature crushed one guard with a single hand. Blood stained the floor. Chaos spread through the prison. Inside Maya's cell, the robot turned its head toward the noise. "Threat level increasing," it said calmly. The heavy footsteps grew closer. The monster was moving toward their sector. The energy bars flickered as power systems failed. Maya looked up at the machine. "You are still damaged," she said. "Combatability at 32%, the robot replied. The monster reached their cell. It stopped outside and stared at them. It saw a weak human girl. And a damaged machine. It smiled with sharp teeth. With one powerful strike, it hit the energy barrier. The barrier cracked. Another hit. The shield shattered completely. The monster stepped inside. The guards were too far away to help. Maya's heart pounded. But she did not scream. She did not run. She looked at the machine and said only one word. "Protect." The robot moved instantly. Faster than the monster expected. Even at low power, its speed was terrifying. It grabbed the creature's arm mid-attack. Metal fingers tightened like steel traps. The monster roared and tried to pull away. The robot's blue eye glowed brighter. "Primary directive," it said. "Protect humanity." With one powerful motion, it twisted. The sound of breaking bone filled the cell. The monster screamed. The robot lifted it off the ground and threw it against the wall. The impact cracked the metal surface. The creature tried to stand again. But the robot stepped forward. And with one final strike, it ended the fight. Silence returned. The prison hallway was filled with smoke and fear. Other prisoners watched from their cells. For the first time, they were not laughing. They were afraid. Maya looked at the machine. "You were never broken," she whispered. The robot turned its glowing eye toward the prison cameras. "Phase 1 complete," it said. Far above the prison, hidden deep in space. A silent signal began to transmit toward Earth. The trap had been set. And the galaxy still believed the weapon was defective. They had no idea what was about to begin. Smoke slowly cleared inside the broken prison cell. The dead creature lay on the floor. Its heavy body was twisted and still. The robot stood above it, blue light glowing from its eye. Its damaged armor was cracked even more now. But it did not look weak. It looked awake. In the hallway, other prisoners watched in silence. Some were warlords. Some were killers from distant worlds. All of them dangerous. And for the first time, they were quiet. The guards did not enter the sector. They stayed back, afraid. Inside the control room, officers stared at the screens. "That machine is operating at low power," one officer said. "How did it defeat a level 9 war beast?" another asked. No one had an answer. Inside the cell, Maya looked at the robot carefully. "You are still limiting yourself," she said softly. "Yes," the machine replied. "Full power not recommended yet." Maya nodded. The prison was already unstable. If the robot used full strength now, the entire station could explode. And that was not the plan. Heavy footsteps echoed again in the hallway. But this time, they were slow, calm. From the darkness of the corridor, another figure appeared. Not a wild beast. Not a mindless monster. This one was different. Tall. Covered in black armor. Eyes glowing green. This was not just a prisoner. This was General Carthos. One of the alien empire's greatest war commanders. Even in chains, he carried power. The other prisoners moved back when he walked past. He stopped at the broken energy barrier of the cell. He looked at the dead creature on the floor. Then at the robot. "So," Carthos said slowly, "Earth's failed machine still breathes." The robot did not answer. Its blue eye locked onto him. Maya felt the tension in the air. Carthos stepped inside the cell. The guards shouted through speakers. "Return to your sector immediately." He ignored them. "I fought you once," Carthos said to the robot. "In the final battle. You stopped moving. You surrendered." The robot's voice was calm. "Incorrect." Carthos narrowed his glowing eyes. "You were defeated," he growled. "Negative," the machine replied. "I adapted." For a second, silence filled the room. Maya watched carefully. Carthos suddenly moved. Faster than expected. He attacked with a hidden energy blade from his wrist. The strike aimed directly at Maya. The robot reacted instantly. It stepped between them. The blade cut deep into its shoulder. Metal split open. Sparks flew. But the blade stopped before reaching the girl. The robot grabbed Carthos by the throat. The floor cracked under their weight. "You protect the human," Carthos said with dark amusement. "You are still her slave." "Incorrect," the robot answered. "I serve humanity." Carthos roared and broke free with brute force. He punched the machine hard. The impact threw the robot across the cell wall. Metal bent. The wall shattered. Maya fell to the ground. Carthos walked toward her slowly. "This prison holds the strongest beings in the galaxy," he said. "Do you think one broken machine can control it?" Before he could take another step, something changed. The robot stood again. Slowly. Its blue eye began to glow brighter than before. Energy lines appeared across its armor. Cracks sealed themselves. Damaged systems restarted. Combat capacity increased to 60%, it announced. The air vibrated with power. Other prisoners backed away in fear. Carthos turned around. For the first time, he looked unsure. "You wanted to know why I stopped in the final battle," the robot said. "It was not defeat. It was strategy." Carthos attacked again with full strength. But this time the robot was faster. Stronger. It caught the energy blade. Crushed it in its hand. Then struck Carthos with a force that shook the entire prison sector. The general crashed into the corridor wall. Unconscious. Silence returned again. Maya slowly stood up. The prison lights flickered badly now. Systems were failing. The robot turned toward her. "Phase 2 ready," it said. Maya looked around at the watching prisoners. Fear had replaced their pride. "This prison was never our cage," she whispered. The robot finished the sentence. "It was our battlefield." Far away in space, Earth received the full signal. And deep inside the prison station, something far more dangerous than the inmates had just awakened. Red warning lights flashed across the entire prison station. Alarms screamed through every hallway. "Intruder alert," the system repeated again and again. But this time, the intruder was already inside. The robot stood in the broken cell. Blue energy lines glowing across its armor. Its damaged plates were slowly repairing. Small machines inside its body moved like living parts. Maya stood beside it. Her face was calm, but her heart was racing. "It is time," she said quietly. The robot turned toward her. "Human authorization required for full combat release," it said. Maya placed her hand on its chest again. The hidden panel opened. A soft light scanned her palm. "DNA confirmed," the machine announced. "Full combat mode unlocked." For a second, everything went silent. Then power exploded outward from the robot's body. A wave of force rushed through the corridor. Loose metal pieces flew across the floor. Other prisoners fell back in fear. The robot's height increased slightly as armor shifted into battle form. Energy blades formed along its arms. Its blue eye burned like a star. In the control room, officers panicked. "Deploy all security units," one commander shouted. "Call the external fleet," another yelled. Heavy metal doors opened across the prison. Elite alien soldiers rushed into the sector. They carried advanced plasma weapons. Their armor was thick and strong. They formed lines and aimed at the robot. "Fire!" the commander ordered. Bright blasts of energy filled the hallway. The robot moved instantly. It stepped in front of Maya. Energy shots hit its armor. Explosions covered its body in smoke. When the smoke cleared, it was still standing. "Primary directive," it said calmly. "Protect humanity." Then it attacked. It dashed forward faster than the soldiers could track. 1 strike. 2 strikes. 3. Alien armor shattered like glass. Weapons broke in half. The corridor became a storm of light and metal. Maya stayed close behind it. The robot never moved too far from her. Every attack was calculated. Every step controlled. More soldiers arrived. Heavy battle machines rolled into the hallway. Large cannons charged with bright red energy. They fired together. The blast hit the robot directly. The wall behind it exploded. Maya was thrown to the ground. For a second, everything was dust and noise. Then the robot stepped out of the smoke again. Its armor cracked in places, but its eyes still burned bright blue. "Threat level acceptable," it said. It lifted one arm. A pulse of energy shot forward. The heavy machines exploded instantly. Metal rained from the ceiling. The prison structure began to shake violently. "Reactor overload warning," the system announced. In space outside the station, alien warships moved into position. They aimed massive cannons at the prison. "If we cannot control it," an alien admiral said, "we destroy it." Inside, Maya heard the distant sound of engines outside. "They are going to blow up the station," she said. "Yes," the robot replied. "Time remaining limited." Suddenly, a hidden sniper unit appeared at the end of the corridor. It locked onto Maya. A thin red targeting beam rested on her chest. The robot detected it 1 second before firing. It moved without thinking. It stepped directly in front of her. The sniper shot pierced through its shoulder. Energy sparks exploded out the back. Maya gasped. "You are damaged again," she said. "Damage acceptable," the robot answered. It destroyed the sniper with a single precise shot. For a brief second, Maya looked at the machine differently. Not just as a weapon, but as something loyal. Something willing to fall for her. The prison trembled again. Explosions echoed from distant sectors. Some prisoners had escaped their cells during the chaos. Fighting broke out everywhere. The robot turned toward the main corridor leading to the central command tower. "Phase 3 required," it said. Maya understood. If they reached the control core, they could shut down the prison weapons. Or turn them against the fleet outside. She nodded. Let's finish this, she said. The robot stepped forward. Blue light glowing brighter with every step. Behind them, the prison burned. Ahead of them, an army waited. And above them in space, alien warships prepared to erase everything. But the galaxy still did not understand one thing. Earth's weapon was never meant to survive quietly. It was built to change the balance of power forever. The path to the central command tower was filled with smoke and fire. Broken metal covered the floor. Flashing red lights made the hallway look like a battlefield. The robot walked forward without slowing down. Blue energy shining from its armor. Maya followed close behind. Above the prison station, alien warships aimed their largest weapons. Energy cannons charged with deadly light. Final warning, the alien admiral said. Destroy the station. Inside the command tower, the last line of elite guards waited. They were taller, stronger, and heavily armed. Their armor was black and covered in battle marks. When they saw the robot, they did not laugh. They knew this was no broken machine. Fire! Their leader shouted. The room exploded with energy blasts. The robot rushed forward. It moved like lightning. Every shot that came toward Maya was blocked. Every enemy that stepped close was thrown aside. Metal fists struck with controlled power. Energy blades cut through heavy armor. One by one, the guards fell. The leader tried to activate a self-destruct code. But the robot reached him first. It grabbed his arm and crushed the control device. The leader looked into the robot's glowing blue eye. You were defeated, he said weakly. The robot replied calmly. Negative. I was patient. The final guard fell unconscious. Silence filled the command tower. Maya quickly ran to the main control panel. Her fingers moved fast across the screen. She connected the robot system to the prison core. Can you control the defense cannons? She asked. Yes, the robot answered. Reversing target lock. Outside in space, something unexpected happened. The prison station's defense weapons turned. Instead of aiming at Earth's location, they locked onto the alien fleet. What is happening? The admiral shouted. Before he could react, powerful beams of light shot from the prison. 2 warships exploded instantly. The fleet broke formation in panic. At the same time, far in deep space, a new signal arrived. Hidden ships appeared from hyperspace. Sleek human warships. Silent and advanced. Earth had been waiting. The robot had sent the signal long ago. This was never just a rescue. It was a trap. The alien fleet now faced enemies from 2 sides. Within minutes, explosions filled the darkness of space. The empire that once laughed at Earth began to retreat. Inside the command tower, Maya watched the battle through the main screen. Tears filled her eyes, but she did not cry. It worked, she whispered. Yes, the robot replied. Phase 3 complete. The prison station slowly stabilized. Emergency systems activated. Remaining prisoners were locked down again. The most dangerous warlords of the galaxy were now powerless. And their fleet was burning in space. Maya turned to look at the machine. Its armor was heavily damaged. Deep cracks ran across its body. Its blue light was softer now. You were never defective, she said gently. The robot looked at her. Its voice was steady but quieter. Humanity does not build broken weapons. She smiled slightly. No, she said. We build hope. Outside, the last alien warship jumped into hyperspace to escape. The battle was over. But the message was clear. The galaxy had believed Earth was weak. They believed humans were emotional and fragile. They laughed when the prototype was captured. They showed it as a symbol of failure. Now they understood the truth. Earth had never lost control. Earth had never surrendered. Earth had adapted. As human ships surrounded the prison station, a final message was broadcast across the galaxy. It was simple. It was calm. And it was clear. Humanity does not seek war. But if you threaten us, we will answer. The camera feeds across the galaxy showed the blue-eyed machine standing beside the human girl. Not broken. Not defeated. But victorious. The galaxy had laughed at Earth once. They never laughed again.